but if you've been spending time in the CPL or like RSL discords, you probably recognize the Boriso, who I'm not entirely sure how to describe it, but they're a pioneer and a visionary. And if I were to switch races to Protoss, it would be solely because I would want to follow in their footsteps. Of course, we only have a couple of games for Group 21 today. Our first game is going to be Boriso versus Type 100. I have the replay loaded up already, and I literally made a point to read what races they were so that I would know going into it, and then I forgot. So Boriso is a Terran. I don't know what Type 100 is. I've not casted a game from them before, so we'll see then. I guess we'll just hop right into it. Once again, this is from week 2, so all of our games will be played on Eclipse, one of the best maps ever made. It's up there with things like Plasma. Alright, we'll get right into it. Okay, so where is our... There we go. Switch. Oh my god, I also forgot to change the names. Okay, in the top right corner, we have the Green Zerg, Type 100, and their opponent. In the bottom right corner, we have the Blue Terran. It's just Borisu. Alright, let me get some of these. Let me move that over there. Listen, I will not accept Plasma Slander. It's one of the greatest maps ever made. Up there with Ringing Bloom, Inner Coven, and Optimizer. This is why I can never be put in charge of a map pool, because I'm pretty sure I would have everyone quit Brood War. All right. Yeah. Eclipse is just, it's one of the I think, if you could theoretically imagine a perfect map, Eclipse is very close to that, because it just allows for such a wide range of styles. If you want to cheese on this map, it's a 2-player map. You can cheese. If you want to play a really long macro game, it has a really nice divide down the middle, so you can play a really long macro game. But it's never too cheesy, and it's never like too macro heavy. Okay, we have a... Oh, that's... What? What is... Type 100 calling Borisu's bluff, saying, you know what? I don't care that you're blocking my hatch with a supply depot. I'll just build it 2 hexes over. Do you think I give a shit? And Borisu's like, oh my god, he doesn't give a shit, cancels the supply depot, and Type 100 is able to take their regular natural. Brilliant plays. Honestly, such a... Oh, and 2 barracks before a refinery. Brilliant plays, brilliant mind games. Of course, Type 100 did also lose a bunch of minerals in the process, I believe. I mean, the refund on canceling buildings, I think, is 75%. So Borisu really only invested 25 minerals and got 75 minerals out of Type 100, which is pretty serious this early in the game. But it looked cool. To see the mind games. Alright, so Borisu not even going for an expansion, as I think you would normally see in a PVZ. He's instead going straight up 3 barracks academy, which would seem to be that he's going to try and do just a really quick push. But Type 100 isn't playing too greedily either. They're staying on 2 bases. They, if they can see that the Boruso is dedicating so much to a potentially very fast attack, yeah, and you see they're setting up the creep colonies in time. So Type 100 should be okay, I think. Ooh, Zerglings don't quite catch the SCV. It does get out, and Zergling speed is a little bit away, so that SCV will be able to get a read on what's out on the map. Yeah, he banks right, and he's going to be able to get killed by the sunken colonies instead of the Zerglings. So we have a 2-base Spire here coming from Type 100. This heavier bio play from Boruso. Oh, that's not good. He's supply blocked. That's going to really hiccup his attack timing. And, yeah. So, on Boruso's side, this looks like it basically is just impossible for attack to push through and actually kill the Zerg here. I mean, once they get... I mean, they have 2 sunken colonies already. If they see that you still haven't expanded, they can just maybe throw down 2 more, call it a day. He's putting up a hatchery out front to block shots. But we'll see. We have a control group and some change of units coming out on the map. Spire's almost done, so Mutalisks will be out maybe when the force gets up to around here, and they will be able to start picking off units and baiting the Marines away from the Zerg base. But there we go, we're going up to 4 sunken colonies, and I just don't think that's breakable by Terran. We will see, though. Oh yeah, this is... Of course, he's going to need to get all of his units together. And he has 4 barracks, so again, he's skipped his expansion, got a bunker in the main base. Yeah, I think he really was hoping that maybe Type 100 played a bit greedy and went for a 3 base, because if he was trying to take a 3rd in either of these positions, or really just anywhere on the map, Boruso could send a Marine up and scout it. The attack comes in here, but again, they're going to get shredded by the sunken colonies. The Mutas come out just in time. The Marines are going to apply pressure to the hatchery. But, oh, a medic goes down. That's really bad. Yeah, he's going to have to retreat, and in fact, he might just end up getting completely picked off by the Mutalisks here. Yeah, and now he doesn't have his expansion to get the resources to rebuild, and his entire bioforce gets reset. He only has what he has. He only has what he has at home. Right. Oh, and there's also, I guess the engineering bay also hasn't finished yet. That's... Well, this is just an unmitigated disaster. We're up to 8 Mutalisks now? 10? Yeah, they could probably just fight these Marines, and then, oh, well, Marines are really good against Mutalisks. But once all the Marines dry up, they'll be able, the Mutas will be able to pick off all the little incoming reinforcements. Turrets are going to be just a little too late. Doesn't even look like there are any building anywhere. So the Mutas are going to get on top, and that's going to be the game. I think Type 100 reacted really well. It responding to seeing that Boruso was going for the timing attack and just said, "Yeah, okay, we'll just throw up a bunch of sunken colonies and go into a 2-base. Get mutas." Okay. One turret does go up. Mutas are... Yeah, but again, the mutas are going to be able to get on top of the barracks, and every reinforcing mutalisk is just one more that's going to kill these buildings, and Borusu won't be able to defend them. They are trying. They are inching turrets over to the right, but unfortunately, I think it's getting to a point where the mutalisks probably could just fight these turrets and call it a day. Floating the barracks over to defend them. But then they just go kill the natural. Yeah, Borusu is doing their best to stay in the game, but again, Type 100 has double the workers. Yeah. Again, I just think the unfortunate thing is Borusu went for that attack timing, but I think especially once the SCV came up here and saw the sunken colonies, he probably should have just said, okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything with that push out, and built his expansion as soon as possible. Especially since the Zerg wasn't doing anything that could be punished, and now, well, we have our fortress, but the Zerglings will come in, clear everything up. Borusu GG's. That's going to be our first game from Group 21. Borusu getting overrun by the Zerg. Our next match is going to be Borusu versus Siku. Wait. Did I write my names wrong? Hold on. Type 1 Borusu. Oh my gosh. Okay, I had the incorrect. Never mind. Let me... Nope. I can't believe I even looked at this group specifically because I was like, hold on, do I have a name wrong? And I did. I kept missing it. So our next match is going to be Borusu versus Von Zeph. My bad. And this is going to be a Terran versus Protoss. Once again on Eclipse. We'll hop right into it. See if Borusu can fare any better against the oh no, hold on. Okay, I need to... Oh gosh. Let's see. Stream. Where is that one? In the top right corner, we have a yellow Protoss in the same position. Borusu is just reliving their life over and over again, trying to kill a top right alien. We have Von Zeph. In the bottom right, our Terran hero, just Borusu, in the blue. It's a pretty early SCV scout. It feels like it is. Again, I don't play Terran, so I'm not. Again, take anything I say with regards to other races with as much salt as you can. That feels like a very early SCV scout. So it seems either Borisu wants to make sure they aren't being cheesed, or they have something in mind themselves. The classic SCV gateway strats. It's gonna get a lot of damage on the gateway, I guess, but a probe will come to start scaring it away. Pretty good anti-zealot wall placement. Right. Now the SCVs, you can tear down the cybernetics core. Nothing unusual from either of our players so far. Looks like we're going to be getting into a standard Terran versus Protoss. That supply depot needs to be one down, but I guess since there's no zealot coming out, it's fine. Marine will scare the probe out of the base, and we'll probably see there's the factory. SCV's transferred off of gas, so we know that Borisu will be expanding soon. Whereas Von Zeph looks like they're going to be expanding of their own. Maybe. Oh, 2 factory. Guessing then, again, I guess Borisu just really wants to go for these timing attacks. I think with SCVs transferred off of... Oh, and he puts the SCVs back on gas. So I suppose it was kind of a fake out, but he had already scared the probe away, so he didn't need to move the SCVs away to fake the Protoss out. And the Dragoon's going to come up here. SCV Scout goes back out again. Will slip by the Dragoon just barely. It's unfortunate. Dragoons without range are the most pathetic unit in the game. It's so sad. Like, they're already stupid, and then you just reduce their range that low, and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I was thinking there might have been like a 2-factory vulture play, like heavy on the minerals with the SCVs transferred, but again, I guess that is a lot of Marines. Okay, so Von Zeph should know exactly what's coming. If you see, 6 Marines, that's 2 more than that's 2 more than a bunker can fit. Yeah, he throws down 2 gateways. So yeah, he's gonna start pumping units to try and defend this. He has a little bit to go. Luckily, Borisu hasn't started their tech on anything. And Von Zeph is getting their robo, so they will be able to get... they're getting a forge just for safety. That's pretty good. You can, with the pylon placement here, you can throw like a cannon there if you have to. So the big thing here is if Borisu can get the expansion or not. If Borisu can push out and siege up in this area, then they're in a very good position. Otherwise, Von Zeph will just be leagues ahead. Alright, so here's the push out. Siege mode is being researched, and then essentially, if I understand the attack correctly, You get your 3 siege tanks, your bunch of marines, and then you just constantly reinforce with vultures. Okay, so there are 6 dragoons out on the map. Oh, I see. He's trying to hide them back up there, so as Borisu comes up, they can come in from behind and snipe the tanks off. That's pretty good. Yeah, with 3 gateway production, throwing dragoons out, I'm pretty sure that Zeph is in a good position. Yeah, and then here comes the flanking dragoons. That's really good play. Okay, 1 siege tank goes down, but man, those dragoons melt. 2 siege tanks goes down. There's still 1 left, so the push can still be very scary. Fortunately, he's down to 3 dragoons, so he can't one-shot the tank. Okay, it's out in the open now. If he flanks, he will be able to come up and get it, but he probably needs to transfer these probes or they're going to get melted. Alright, tank goes down. Marines all die. And, I mean, that was a pretty good hold. I mean, with the photon cannon coming up, he only lost maybe about 5 or 6 probes, I think. Yeah, so now we can just counter push and just really keep Borisu off of 2 bases. To, you know, the best of his ability, of course. The siege tank is an amazing area denial tool, so he can't push too far forward, but he might be able to just barely inch these dragoons around the cliff. But dragoons being dragoons, they're gonna move like this. Yeah. No, 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 no. Commit to me. No. Oh gosh. Oh, it's so sad seeing that sometimes. Because I mean, I guess it probably is better to just move the dragoons out, but if you commit to have them run down here, like you have just 4 dragoons down in this base, you make it so hard for the Terran to actually push out. Okay, with the observer coming up, wow, Borisu is staying on his 3 barracks play, the perfect mix. This is going to be an interesting game. Zeph hasn't gotten into robotics facility, but as they get their tech further upgraded, these Marines are going to be really bad. But if Borisu, again, if Borisu pushes out here, and he's able to move out, Stim Marines are pretty good. Yeah, the reason Terran don't go bio in TVP is because Protos's access to AoE damage is so high and so easy. But sometimes you can take that risk that they don't have it. And there are certain timings where it's like, okay, well, it's impossible for you to have it at this point, so I'm just going to try to attack you and kill you. And if the Protoss holds it, they will just win. But sometimes you get into situations like this where I guess the storm is a bit delayed. Von Zeph went up to 3 bases. He's trying to push up a ramp against that many dragoons. Okay, tanks are going to siege, but they're a bit far forward. Attacks are going to go down. Marines are going to run up, push the Protoss back. That is a very small Terran army. Yeah. 1 base that does not very effectively hold a 2 factory, 3 barracks production. And with the Citadel of Adun finished, he really needs to actually push forward with this army if he's going to maintain this composition. Because every second the Protoss is closer to getting Templar tech is a second that more and more of Borisu's army is just completely invalidated. Yeah, Zeph already has 3 bases up, so they're playing very well. There, you see, they have their huge gateway explosion happening, going up to I think 6 here. They could probably add on like another with 3 bases. I think you want like 12 to 14 gateways, or you can maintain 12 to 14 gateways, especially when you have double the workers of your opponent. That's just how effective like having your expansion up so much sooner is. Yep, there's Templar Tech, there's a Stargate, so we're probably going to be getting into Arbiters here. And Zeph is just affording like all of the fun Protoss tools that they get to use to make a Terran's life a living nightmare. While and Borsu's just going really like heavy on the bio. Now, even getting +1 armor. They got +1 weapons already, I believe. Yep. So the thing about bio is that it's not like it's the worst thing you can do. Well, it is, but if your opponent doesn't have Storm, it can be very good, because Marine DPS is just insane. Like if you're building Marines, you can probably beat a Protoss building just Zealots and Dragoons. But no, we have Storm and 3 Templars coming, so ignore everything I just said. Zeph is about to completely melt the army of Borisu. And he's still adding on Bio Army. Extremely ballsy play here from Borisu. Zeph's even prepared for their 4th expansion. Yep, and as the Templar are going to filter out, okay, look. This lone Marine, he's really getting all the scouting done. Now, again, I want to stress, there's a theoretical reality where Zeph doesn't hit these storms. They're only building a couple more High Templar. So if Zeph doesn't hit these storms and instead goes straight into like a bunch of Arbiters, the bio could be really good. I mean, Marines out DPS Dragoons so fast when you're on like relatively even numbers and you have stim and the range upgrade for Marines. Like when you have like the equal upgrades and everything, Marines will just melt through Dragoons. Fire Bats will just melt through Zealots once you get them in like high enough numbers. I don't want to make it seem like there isn't a chance here for Borisu, our Terran, our bio wonder. But the High Templar have finally been added into the main army, and Von Zeph is getting up their 4th base. There is a... Listen, I'm just... If Borisu pulls this game off, they are... Oh my god. Did I completely miss that we were in double dropship production? What? Okay, well this actually seems really awkward though. Von Zeph tries to kill a 3rd that isn't here. These are the big brain plays from Borisu. But here's the awkward thing: is Von Zeph is getting into position to like begin to attack. Are all of these full? That's so much. The problem is if Borisu moves out as Von Zeph is moving into attack, like most of his army are in dropships at this point. I suppose if he moves forward, he can drop behind and snipe the High Templar. This is definitely the kind of like interesting, weird stuff that I've come to expect from Borisu, and why I wanted to cast this group. Oh no, they saw the drop ships. They're gonna move to intercept. This is gonna be huge. I wonder. Oh god. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh man. Oh jeez. Okay. Oof. Oof. They're going straight to the main. Storm on the drop ships. Well, let's see if the Terran recall is as powerful as a Protoss attack. Protoss is. Nice bottleneck here for the Zealots to get kind of stuck up in. A lot of damage being done to the infrastructure here. On the other side of the map, Von Zeph is moving in to try to take out Borisu's expansion. Where it looks like the Arbiter's out. The drop play here is... Okay, Cybernetics Core goes down. I don't think there is a replacement one. And a lot of Von Zeph's army is being dedicated to this thing. Also, it looks like the attack on the other side of the map failed. Storm goes down on the tanks, and this attack will get cleared up momentarily. Again, I actually don't think there was a replacement Cybernetics Core ever built, since we're entirely Zealot production now. Oh gosh, that supply is very, very scary. And Von Zeph is getting their 5th base up. If that play had happened 10 minutes ago, that would have been really good. Again, it just seems like mathematically inevitability is on Von Zeph's side here. That was a really unfortunate that the Zealots at the 3rd were able to spot the dropships as they were coming out. I think he lost at least 1 going in. Yeah, and okay, Cybernetics Core is finally built back up. A bit of a blockage there. Well, while we have a bit of downtime as Von Zeph moves like an entire Protoss population around, Borisu reconstructs her thing, goes in, starts preparing for the 2nd drop. Again, I think actually that drop would have been really good if it happened like 5 or 10, 5, 6, 7 minutes earlier. I also wonder if... Well, I guess Reavers still exist, because I was going to say you could get science vessels to irradiate the High Templar and just play like TVP SK Terran, but I guess the Protoss would just make Reavers. That's an interesting stasis. Yeah, and Von Zeph is going to get up into the main, or get up into the natural to kill it at least, and there aren't any minerals in the main. That is a lot of Zealots. Oh, really great medic blocking there, by the way. Really hiccuping the advancing of the Zealots, but the Zealots will fall, or the Zealots will push through and destroy Borisu's main. Drop here at the 5th. Denies it, but Zeph's push here at the main will deny it as well. Yeah, that's gonna be all she wrote. Borisu's gonna attempt to come back to try and clean up the army in his base, but I don't think it will be possible to recover from here. Huge stasis goes down on the SCV. And that's going to be our game. Yeah, this was super interesting. Unfortunately, I wonder how different this game would look if the attack worked. Well, I guess if the attack worked, that was just such a insane, like, alteration. Borisu would be so far ahead. I guess, like, the dropship play might have done something if it was just a bit earlier and Von Zeph didn't have all the such an overwhelming lead already, but yeah, I think the failed 2 factories where things went wrong because then Borisov was just so far behind economically that yeah, that's unfortunate. I was hoping our Borisov games. I can't really fault them. It's the preseason, best of ones. Can you really blame a guy for going for the one base all in attacks? It's not like there's a series and you're trying to plan something out and your opponent can respond to it. It's like, hey, if I win, I win. But our next game is going to be CQ versus Von Zeph, which probably should look at what the races are, which is going to be another Protoss versus Terran. We're going to hop right into it and see how different this game is. Maybe this whole group is just going to be one base all-ins, and we're going to be done in like 30 minutes. Oh my god, this is the exact same matchup. Oh wait, no, hold on. I should probably switch the screen back to the in-game one. What? Okay. Oh man, looks like someone had their earpiece in while they were playing this game. In the top right corner, we have Zeph. Oh, let me pull up my Von Zeph as the purple Protoss this round. And in the bottom left corner, we have the red Terran CQ, here to avenge his ally that fell to the Protoss menace. Again, another early SUV scout. I may just not know. I just may not know how Terran gets played. I guess you would send an SCV scout that early when you're building the supply depot, but I'm not sure why. Really putting that 300 APM to use. Maybe he's just setting up to prepare to fly some SCVs around. Okay. So we got a pretty basic, oh man, bit of a delay there on the gas mining. Alright, so barracks is going to go up, we're going to see a Marine, and then I suppose we're going to watch for a few seconds to see what tech path CQ goes into. If it's going to be a... Okay, factory should go down right there. No, that's a supply depot. Factory should go down as soon as he gets up to 200 minerals. Okay, probe is scared away. We're going to see a factory, and we're going to look for the pull on the SCVs. Let's get the zoom in here. That is a no SCV pull, so we might be looking at another one base attack. CQ meanwhile. No, Zeph is progressing very normally, getting their singularity charge and sending their Dragoon across the map in order to there's the 2 factories. Yeah, so that Dragoon is going to move across the map to try and harass a natural that won't be coming. I was kidding when I said maybe this whole group will just be one base all-ins, but it looks like CQ, man in his earpiece, said do a 2-fac. It's Eclipse. There's only 2 bases. You don't have to guess where they're at. This is punishment for every Protoss that has cheesed anywhere, at any time. All right, there's the Vulture and a mine. As CQ's gonna move out with the 5 Marines, scare the Dragoon off, or try to at least. Not sure what that is. I guess if the Dragoon tries to poke forward, the Marines can come up and sandwich it, but Zephyros playing, I mean, pretty safe game, getting up a robotics bay and a second gateway, so that seems about right. Not sure about mines in the main. I think usually if you're going for a 2-fac, you're trying to push out, and you really need those mines to scare the, to, like, push the Dragoons further and further back in. So here comes the push out. Okay, siege tank comes forward, Marine tanks a couple of the shots, and Seiko's going for it now. Oh, and he's taking the long way around as well. That's interesting. He's going to avoid the Dragoons on the high ground, which could be very effective. Oh, he's going the really long way around. I'm not sure about taking that whole pathway. I think you could cut up in the middle here and be just as safe, especially since you don't have to deal with any high ground. But, I mean, he's really avoiding the Protoss. And he's getting an expansion. Not sure about that one. It feels like if Zephyros calls his bluff that he's dedicating a full attack, Zephyros can just move up forward and deny this. But he's not. He actually is just heading back to fully defend. Oh, and the mines placed there. That's really good. That's going to probably catch a Dragoon or 2 on the way up. Ooh, nice snipe on that, but that... Oh, okay. Wow. Well, at least CQ has their expansion now. As long as he doesn't... Oh no. Run. Sick mine pickup. That's... Oh man. I will never not be impressed by shooting the mines as they're laid. Well, that should be it. Yeah. See, Zephyros is getting their 3rd base up. It's an unfortunate, power of the high ground siege tank does scare the Dragoons away for a moment, so Zephyros will need to get a little higher in the tech tree before they can actually win the game. But again, this is just exactly like the last game, where technically it will go on longer, but mathematically Zephyros is just so far ahead that I don't think there's a possible way for CQ to even come back. If they do, though, that would be very impressive, because that is a lot of purple coming down to eat them. Or I guess not eat them, because Protoss don't have mouths. Do something similarly deadly. And all right. And okay. This should be game. There's no siege tanks. I think even at this point it should be impossible for CQ to defend this ramp. Unfortunately, man, is 2FEC really that all in? Oh, at least it's good sport about it. We got the GGs with the semicolon D. You'll love to see it. Damn. Maybe Terran actually is the hardest race. I didn't think 2FAC was that all in, but apparently it's like, because in both the games we've seen it, it just has been a complete snowball after it hasn't worked. Well, our last game for Group 21, the second week of preseason, is going to be Type 100 versus Von Zeph. That's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg on Eclipse. I messed up. I thought we had a Borisu versus CQ, but I messed that one up. Even after I had tried to check and make sure. I double-checked this group specifically because I kept looking at the names. I was like, something doesn't look right. And then I realized that and then I didn't realize until after I had started that Borisu versus CQ just wasn't in my replays. I spent like 30 minutes looking at this group's replays, being like, what am I missing? So yeah. We're gonna just hop into this PVZ to round out the group. Which one am I changing? In the top right corner, we have Von Zeph, currently 2-0 in the group. And in the bottom right, we have Type 100, playing as the green Zerg Brood. Alright, there we go. We are now fully set up. That is a very early probe. No, wait, no, it's not. I thought it was just running entirely away. Zef gets the top right again. I just realized this. What is the... unfortunate pylon placement. Von Zeph is dedicated to defending the top right of Eclipse. I don't know if this technically works, because Protoss walling is a mystery to me. I just put the buildings where people tell me to. But I think this isn't right. I think the pylon is... I mean, I'm pretty sure... I guess it would work, but... Yeah, no, because then your gateway is going to be below your forge. Okay, so the pylon to egg is not tight. And then the gateway under forge is going to leave an insanely huge gap. Okay, so... yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. Sometimes you see these walls in. This is like the one thing that as a Protoss I actually understand. Also, great job blocking the expansion here by the probe, forcing Type 100 to go ahead and make their third. That really limits the range of builds that you have to worry about from the Zerg. You know, they can't do anything like too base and cheesy to you because they have to take this third instead. Also, this is an insanely long time. Von Zeph, 300 APM of pure just muscle and skill getting that expansion denied. Yeah, so here's the Wallen. I mean, the cannon is up, so he's technically fine, but it definitely could be very scary. Because I actually don't even think the gateway above this little catwalk metal area is tight, but I'm not sure. It might be. If Type 100 was going for a more aggressive play, ooh, unfortunate there for Zeph. But if Type 100 was going for, like, if there were like 12 Zerglings here, they could probably just run into the main, and Von Zeph would lose. That said, he hasn't lost. So, we'll probably be getting into a regular game. So the next stage of this for Protoss is defending the Zerg, the Hydralisks. So the basic flow of the game is that early game, the Protoss needs to get either Zealots and or Cannon to defend the initial Zerglings. Then they have to get Templar to defend the Hydralisks, / get Corsairs to defend Mutalisks if possible. Or usually you get Corsairs first to scout, and then you get Templar to defend the Hydralisks, and then once you have Storm, then you can start moving out on the map and pressuring the Zerg. But until that point, you're kind of stuck in your base. Like, this Overlord is just going to know everything you're doing for free, so your build order is essentially almost always the same. We've seen a couple CPL games that have been kind of interesting, and there's an ASL map where a player went for Dragoons really early and went like Dragoon Reaver. Oh god, I keep forgetting which matchup this actually was. I think it was Effort versus... oh my god, I feel so bad. I forget the Protoss player's name. But it was a really cool game, even though the strategy didn't actually work. Alright, so here's a bit of a pressure. But Type 100 is going for the standard Protoss build. They're going to get Corsairs. The Corsairs are going to fly across the map, scout what the Zerg is doing, see the Hydra Den, maybe get an Overlord with the initial Corsair. Probably like just one of the ones out on the map, maybe one of the third. And then we should see the... ooh, looks like, and then the Citadel of Adun right there, and then the Templar upgrades. And that should be sort of how this game goes. Yep, there's the scout. Oh, there's one already out. Never mind. I'm a bad observer. Right, Zealot sneaks out to go and check for any potential hidden bases. I think, no, never mind. That Zealot is just wandering to make sure that nothing is going too wrong. Yep, one Overlord will get picked off, and it will just barely, actually no, there's 2 more Overlords in production. Never mind, no supply block here. Type 100 is in a very good position. They're macroing very well. And they're going to be getting their Hydralisks, their Overlord speed, and their like Hydra movement upgrades. So this front is going to be pressured very hard. And yeah. No archives under construction yet. Should see that almost immediately after Citadel of Adun finishes, because even if you're building Zealots, they will not do anything against upgraded Hydralisks. Yeah, I think I might have missed. Okay, no, there it is. The Templar Archives goes down. I think you probably would want to get that started before you start Zealot legs, but yeah. Just because even with Zealot legs, the Zealot versus Hydra matchup is kind of Hydralisk favored. It's just when your Zealots do have speed, it kind of can be a micro thing where if you get a good surround, they can work really well. But yeah, up until that point, Von Zeph is just going to have to run into their base. Hydra range is not quite done yet, but okay, the cannons go down. This is going to be very tight for Zeph. Templar Archives finish. We need Storm to start immediately, and we need the Templars to start coming out. Otherwise, these Hydras are going to start melting through everything the Protoss has. Zerglings come up to just give a bit of additional DPS, and this is not a position the Protoss ever wants to be in. They're throwing down cannons, trying to make it work, but Hydralisks are literally on top of the base here. Zealots are getting clumped up behind the buildings and not able to actually get out and scare the Hydralisks back. The wall-in is actually hurting Zeph at this point, and that's going to be GG. Type 100 takes it. Again, these Hydra pushes are just so powerful. I honestly think if you're a Protoss player and you're in the CPL, it is almost 100% worth it to just like only practice this. Protoss is really good at stuff, but this is like the hardest thing for a Protoss player. That's GG, that's G21. I feel like I don't know if I can ever get through a single cast without referencing that defending Hydra busts is the hardest thing for a Protoss player to do. I mean, technically maybe something else is harder, but especially for new players, it's